This is my show.
I've been up since early this morning editing. I'm just trying to keep moving forward. I was riddled with I guess anxiety. I was very anxious this morning. I couldn't sleep because I felt I should be doing more towards pursuing my dreams.
Hey, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel.
It's true. I mean, it's how much more can I do? Really? It's kind of like a thing that's been on my mind. I'm not where I want to be. My goal I have friends who do this. My goal is to be an actor in film and movies and to work on projects, professional projects in the industry. I'm not there. I've been there a few times. And, I've got to figure out the next direction to go in. So I've been thinking about the past. I've been taking stock of everything and where I'm at now. And, 9 years ago, I was driving down to audition in San Antonio, Texas. From an audition, I found myself in the Texas Film Commission. And it sparked all of everything that is current today, that is happening today. Because at that audition, it was a room full of people, and there was 10 actors, I believe, alongside me. We all auditioned in front of them. It was a very different audition. And it was for the character Bendover, who was a long-haired hippie porn producer who smoked weed, and I had long hair. And it was in the comedy film HOA Havoc. And I didn't know if I booked it or not. I didn't know much about it. I just thought it was an opportunity they were paying. But I ended up getting the call in January that I did book it. It was opposite Daniel Baldwin. And me and him hit it off. And then he was like, I got this girl. She's from New York. Her name's Faith. You're going to love her. I'm going to bring her down and play opposite of you. You think she's hot? I was like, yeah. And I did love her, I guess. She ended up becoming my wife. And it has led on to this whole nother path where it's I just let the universe just take me in this direction, and we'll just see what happens. I stopped trying to just say no, I'm only gonna do this. I was okay, let's see what happens. And I ended up doing one more film with them called The Wisdom to Know the Difference in Texas. It's a great movie. I cannot wait for it to be released. They've had a lot of problems with releasing it. Hopefully one day they agree on something and it comes out, because everybody would love this movie. And then I finished directing a film, Proud Souls, which, once all that was done, Faith was like, you want to be with me? You need to move to New York. So I packed everything up in my Geo Metro convertible, which I still own to this day. It's all restored now. But I packed it all up and I moved up here. And my acting career and creative career was like a roaring river of creativity. I had so much stuff happening. I was constantly auditioning through my Texas agent. And I move up here and it goes to a trickle. And I just told myself I can make it happen here. And I was starting over, and I was just beating the pavement. I'd go out there and I would just get devastatedly crushed. Like the nastiest stuff people could say to people, these talent agents were telling me. And just ugliness. And the rejection was really hard. And but my Texas agent was still getting me auditions. Really something. I was just doing all on tape, but I ended up booking a Tyler Perry TV series, 2 seasons of Too Close to Home. And it just went to show me that what these people in New York thought, it really didn't matter much. Because here all of a sudden I'm a working actor again. And I was loving it, man. It was awesome. And, I took the money I made from that TV show and I bought a 4K cinema camera, and I ended up getting another camera, and we ended up shooting a web series called Damage Control, which I didn't really. We had enough equipment to do it, and I knew enough to get myself into trouble with it, right? And so I spent a bunch of money, but I didn't really have the equipment to edit it. It took me forever to edit it, and it was painstaking. But I finished it. I released it. You can watch it now. But it is what it is. It's a stepping stone project. And then from that, Daniel asked me if I would film his documentary because he knew I had some gear, but he didn't really know what I had. So he was like, if you help me, because I don't really have a budget, I can make this documentary. And he was like, he was very, just very distraught because he lost his friend. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll help you, because we were always filming all kinds of stuff. And I go up there, but it ends up turning into the entire year of 2019, not just a few months, but the entire year. And it was a big investment of time and money for me because I had to get the gear to film it, and I didn't really have a lot of it, so I spent a lot. And then, but I knew it was something that could turn into something. And then, so we ended up finishing 2019 and feel great about myself because I made it all the way through this impossible task. And we thought 2020 was going to be the year. I was like pumped to do some acting. I'm ready to get out there, beat the pavement. I'm going to rattle some doors, see what I can come up with. And the pandemic hit, and everybody just comes to a standstill. I ended up enrolling in college, and I did a couple semesters, made A's. I come into 2021, and I'm ready to just rock and roll. I've had enough of this pandemic. I'm ready to get started. But all of a sudden, the documentary is winning awards. And long story short, in 2021, this documentary, I won 2 cinematography awards. I share 7 Best Pictures. Daniel won a Best Director, and Daniel won a Humanitarian Award for the film. The film has 11 awards. So it's this major award-winning film. We went to a lot of film festivals. It was great. But as it's happening, early on, I'm thinking I need to capitalize on this. So I'm like, I got the cameras, but I don't really got the computer. So I went out and I built a super editing computer right here. And then I started thinking, I need to update my gear. So I went and I sold all my old cameras, and I built the 2 6K systems that work on gimbals or handheld. It's awesome. Controlled by iPads. Awesome. And I have all this, and I'm thinking, I'm going to do a project, but I didn't know what I was going to do. And then all of a sudden, I stumbled down to the basement, and I see the dungeon area, which was filled with garbage and trash, and it was creepy. Me and my owner of my building are joking around, and I come up with this whole story idea, loosely based on real life, but it's all fiction. And I just start thinking, I asked him, hey, if I clean this out, can I film down here? And as I was cleaning it out, I was building the cobwebs and doing all this stuff. I'm writing a story. I come up with a really great story. And then I gotta make a decision. Am I gonna film this or not? Well, I don't really have enough money to film it under a union contract where I could pay enough people so I could sell it. So I refinanced a little bit of debt, came up with a few $1,000, enough to pay everybody, and we make the film. And while we're making it, all this stuff's happening. I forgot I got a Bicoastal talent manager. I signed with them in August. We filmed the movie in November. But the week we're scheduled to film, this guy gets me an audition for a TV show that films the same week. But there's so much. I've worked for 6 months building all this stuff to film this movie. Everything's scheduled to this week. So I call him up. I'm like, what should I do? And he's like, look, just do the audition. Explain to him in your slate your availability and why you're not available. I was like, okay. So I did that. But that's been the only audition I've gotten since I signed with them in 4 months. So I'm here and I'm thinking about, if this is, the way it's going to be, that I have representation, I only get 1 audition in 4 months. And it's because it's the New York City thing, It's also because of the way of the world. But I think about all those times back in Hollywood and in Texas where I would audition, and I get like 3-4 auditions a week. You know, that's what I want. I want to be auditioning and booking. I want to be in that audition circuit. I want to be booking the parts in film and TV. But all this stuff I've been doing is it's been stepping stones leading up to like building awards, creating the gear to make the projects. This movie Dungeon is so epically high quality. Our worst film shots are the greatest the greatest shots I could have ever imagined and hoped to film in the past. And I've just been, because it's such a great system, like even mistakes look amazing. And I designed a great sound system too with a backup to where when we had problems with sound, we had a backup, we still got it. You know, it's just taking a little workarounds here and there, but I'm creating a project that is highly worth watching, and I'm very impressed with the quality. So my plan moving forward is to finish this film and make it the best I can, submit it to film festivals, so much that hopefully I win a bunch of awards and I take it to AFM, the American Film Market, next November, and I try and sell it, if it's good enough. And then hopefully, or I upgrade the contract, I just distribute it myself, which I don't really know if that's a smart decision. But I'm going to use this at film festivals to network myself as an actor. And in the near future, I'm going to be out there progressively pushing myself hard forward to try and get those acting parts, to book those roles, to be a part of it. Because my goal is to be a working actor in film and TV. And this here has been the process in which I have pursued that. Now, I don't know if it's the best way to have done it, but it's what I've had available to me. And so I've made the most of what is available to me, right? And I've stayed positive, and I just keep pushing forward. So please, stay positive and keep pushing forward. I hope you've enjoyed this little glimpse into, you know, what it's like to pursue acting.
Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel.